But this is not going to be any ordinary video. It's going to be an extraordinary video. So I highly recommend you save it, download it, take screen grabs, because I did a lot of research. And so what are sulfates? They're cleansing detergents that clean our scalp, but the harsher they are, the more they sort of cleanse and strip away our natural oils, which is the antithesis of what we want, right? So we want a clean scalp because this is where our hair growth journey begins, but we also want to ensure that our natural sebum is not stripped away. We don't ever want to have dry, brittle hair, especially here. And of course, there can be several side effects like dry scalp and dandruff. We don't want to get into any of that. So we want to ensure that the cleansing agents, we want to first of all know exactly which cleansing agent we're using. So turn and then learn all the ingredients, how gentle it is, if we can tolerate it. And it's really by trial and error that I really understood which cleansing agents like the sulfates bothered me. And then that's why I really started diving into this research. Let's go through some of the cleansing agents that I found. These are the most common, and also these seem to be the ones most blamed for sort of being the most harsh and stripping our natural oils. The first one is the SLS, and the full name is sodium lauryl sulfate. This is a very harsh, it is known as a very harsh foaming agent, and it's actually known to strip natural oils from the scalp. If you watch my videos regularly, you'll see that I've mentioned that a good shampoo will lather on the second time, the second wash that we do, because we've removed all the oil on the first wash. But you'll see a less expensive shampoo lather on the first time. That's because of these cleansing agents. They actually give you like the fake bubbles, but your scalp is not actually clean. So that is an important sulfate to look out for. The next one is SLES. This is one that I've actually talked about. It's got the same name except it's got the laureth sulfate. And I've talked about this on my channel because I noticed that when I was using certain shampoos that they literally felt irritating as I was cleansing my scalp. When I turned and learned the ingredients, it always had the sodium laureth sulfate in it. So this one apparently is gentler than the sodium lauryl sulfate, but it can still cause dryness and irritation, and I definitely found that when I used it. The next one I found is called ALS, and that is the ammonium lauryl sulfate. This is noted as another very strong cleansing detergent that is also known as a deep cleansing sulfate. Similarly, the next one, again, it's ALS, but it's the laureth sulfate, so the ammonium laureth sulfate. And even though this one was noted as milder than the lauryl sulfate, it is still very stripping for many. We're talking like stripping natural oils, and it could be irritating for the scalp. The next one is something called the TEA. And this one, from my research, it was noted that it was found in a lot more less expensive. The literature actually called it cheaper shampoos, but let's just say more economical, very inexpensive products. And of course, this is one that would lather really easily. This one is noted as being very drying and also very potentially irritating for your scalp and your hair. And the last sulfate that I researched was the sodium laureth sulfate. This one was noted as gentler than the others, but it was still a pretty harsh cleansing agent. And I have to say, this one I have not seen in shampoos that I have purchased in the past several years. I will say, perhaps when I was younger, I don't recall seeing laureth anywhere. But turn your bottles around and let me know if you guys see this component anywhere. Of course, we can research online and see where it's visible, but it would be interesting to know where this specific surfactant was incorporated. So let's get to my favorite part of this video, and this was so fun researching because for myself, I got to learn about all the sulfate alternatives, because we all see buy a sulfate free, buy a paraben free, but what is used in lieu of the sulfates? I call it cocoa betaine. Here is the full name here. So I have to say that when I was researching this and I saw betaine, I was so excited because you'll see this in a lot of skincare products, and it's actually a humectant, it's a moisturizing ingredient. I have a lot of Korean skincare products that have this included, but when I did my research, unfortunately, it's a different compound for hair care. It is specifically this coca betaine. It is not the humectant. It is a gentle cleansing surfactant that comes from coconut oil. So it's still a fantastic ingredient. I think it's just easier for us to remember, those of us who love hair care and skincare, it's easier to remember if we're familiar with it. It's very gentle, and apparently it gives you a very nice mild foam, which is important to understand, because if you're not getting your foam or your cleansing from a sulfate, where's it coming from? Well, this is coming from coconut oil derivative. Next, it's sodium cocoyl isothionate. Again, term listed here. So this once again is coconut derived. It's a super gentle cleanser, which is awesome for those of us with a sensitive scalp. And this is also, in my research, I found that this is also very common in luxury shampoos. In fact, the first one that I mentioned, the coca betaine, is actually known to be found in your very sort of upper scale luxe or luxe shampoos, because these both are not only gentle, not only moisturizing, but they give you a beautiful foam and they leave your scalp super moisturized. And now that I'm learning these ingredients, I can understand why my luxury products feel so good on my head. A lot of them must be using these coconut oil derivatives for cleansing surfactants. Next, sodium lauryl methyl isothianate, and this once again is a very mild sulfate-free surfactant, and it helps cleanse your hair without stripping any moisture from your scalp. Next, it's disodium lauryl sulfur suthanate. This one was noted as a very mild cleanser with no irritation like sulfates. Next, we have decyl glucoside, and I was very happy to see this and to discover it, because in the literature it said that this one was fantastic for sensitive scalp. So people like me, it's derived from corn, it's also derived from coconuts, and it's biodegradable. It's just ideal for sensitive scalps. Next, we've got lauryl glucoside, and this one is sugar-based, and it's a cleanser that is super mild and it is eco-friendly. Next, sodium cocoyl glutamate, and this one is an amino acid-based surfactant. It's known to be very gentle and also helps to maintain healthy skin and hair barriers. So that's what I found in my research as the most common sulfates, and then the best alternatives, once again, more commonly found in products. I'm sure there's a lot more, and if you guys have stuff to add to this list, I'd love to know about it. But this would be your takeaway from this video. If your scalp feels super irritated when you're washing it and it has some of the sulfates like an SLS or the SLE, I think that you would probably be wise to try something sulfate free. In the literature, I found that these ingredients like the coca betaine and also the sodium cocoyl isothionate were literally called as like hero ingredients for cleansing, because once again, you're getting these, they're sugar based or from corn or from coconut oil or amino acid based, and they are also a lot more gentle while cleansing, and they actually feel luxurious. And I can tell you that I have been using sulfate-free products for years and years. Just recently, I switched to number 4, not exclusively, but I'm using it quite often because my stylist was using it on my hair every time I went to the salon, and just I wanted my hair to feel like that and to look like that when I was at home. And the products I've been using now are number 4. Full transparency, I am an affiliate, but I just became an affiliate. I was using these long before. So they've given me a link. If you guys want to try these, you can click the link in the description box below and you get a really nice discount. It's a 20% off discount. It is a high performance product. And even though the bottles, you may think that they're pretty small, a little goes a long way. You do not need a lot of these products because every product is so highly concentrated. Right now in my hair, we use the clarifying shampoo, hydrating line shampoo and conditioner, the blowout, like leave-in conditioner spray, and then we did an elixir before the blowout and an elixir after the blowout. All the products that we used will be listed below, and then you'll see the link. Just check out the website. I use the hydrating line. You may want to try the volume line, but what I can say as far as the hydration line is that it's super moisturizing for the scalp. It has a trademark complex in it. So the smell of this is Basically, their trademark smells are like a warm vanilla, a patchouli, and a musk. So if you like those smells, you will really enjoy these smells. Again, it's up to everybody's individual taste. But for me, I like that smell because for me, it's almost like a warm cologne. Okay, everybody, so that sums up this video. Inquiries always welcome below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.